بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. As usual, we're still in the Unit 7, and if you remember the last session, we were talking about my life, the interviewer of my life, and in this lecture I'm going to take the planes to rockets in 60 years. This passage, this paragraph divided into very special events, which is talking about the first air journey and the second, the first man on the moon. Okay, now you see here in this page there is some tasks, but it needs to listen to a tape script, and you have to know each year of this, what does it refer to. For example, the 37, 4.30, etc. Okay, this is concerning the first air journey, and this is the first man on the moon. Okay, now let's listen to the CD and try to know what is this paragraph talking about. We are going to Unit 7, the Unit 7. We go to reading and the first air journey. You can follow up with your textbook. Sorry. 7. Read more. Yes.
The first air journey. On July the 25th, 1909, a Frenchman, Louis Blériot, became the first man to complete an air journey when he flew from Calais in the north of France to Dover in the south of England. Blériot's flight amazed the whole of Europe. People thought that such a journey was impossible. The flight. The flight wasn't easy. Mr. Blériot, a 37-year-old engineer, couldn't swim, so he didn't want to come down in the channel. He couldn't walk very well because of an injury to his leg, and he didn't have a compass. On the morning of the 25th, he took off at 4:30 from a field at the edge of a cliff. It took 37 minutes to complete the 22-mile journey. The plane flew at 40 miles per hour at an altitude of 250 feet. Everything went well until he flew into fog. I continued flying for 10 minutes, but I couldn't see the land, only the sky and the sea. It was the most dangerous part of the flight. I wasn't worried about the machine. It flew beautifully. Finally, I saw the land, he told reporters. Landing in England. When he got to Dover, he saw a French journalist waving a flag. He cut the engine at 60 feet and crashed into a field. The news quickly went round the world, and Mr. Blériot's flight was celebrated in London and Paris. He won a prize of £1,000. The crossing was the start of modern aviation, said Louis Blériot, the the grandson of the pioneer.
مثل ما سمعتوا هاي الباراجراف talking about the first air journey. Now I want you try to solve these questions, 3 questions, okay? It's concerning the paragraph. We just listen. And this is task 1, and this is task 2. Try to fill the blanks with the words from the paragraph you just have listened to. If we go back to the other paragraph talking about the first man on the moon, now let's listen to this paragraph.
The first man on the moon. On the 16th of July 1969, at 9:30 in the morning, Apollo 11 lifted off from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. There were 3 astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. The enormous rocket took 3 days to complete the 250,000 miles to the moon, traveling at 6 miles per second, 21,600 miles an hour. Then it circled the moon 30 times, giving time to prepare for the landing. The lunar landing. The lunar module landed on a part of the moon called the Sea of Tranquility at 8:17 in the evening on the 20th of July. It was time for the astronauts to rest, but they were too excited to sleep. At 3 o'clock in the morning, on July the 21st, Neil Armstrong became the first man to walk on the moon. 600 million people all over the world watched on TV. As Armstrong took his first steps, he said the famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Walking on the moon. Armstrong and Aldrin spent 2.5 hours walking on the moon. They collected samples and set up scientific equipment. Finally, they put up a US flag. After 22 hours on the moon, the lunar module lifted off and flew up to join the rocket that took them back to Earth. They left an inscription. "Here men from the planet Earth first set foot upon the moon, July 1969. We came in peace for all mankind." This flight was the beginning of man's exploration of space.
شباب اللي أرجو من عندكم أنه هاي الباراجرافز لا تحاولون أنه مجرد يعني تحلون questions tasks about this paragraph. اللي أرجو من عندكم تنتبهون على how the words are pronounced, تراكيب, prepositions, كل هاي الأمور, الجرامر, كل هاي الأمور رأيتكم الكلمات الغريبة, new vocabulary, all these things you are going to learn is very beautiful for you. It's better for you to getting more and more new words, how they pronounced, how they used. أرجو من عندكم أنه تتعلمون التراكيب كمجموعة, يعني الكوهيجن, تناسق الكلمات, كل هاي الأمور يتكم تركزون بها أكثر ما تركزون على شلون راح تحلون الأسئلة المتعلقة بها. This is the task number 1 for question, and this is task number 2. Okay, we are going to discuss this task in the discussion, the WhatsApp. Okay. Let's see what is new here. Missing time expression, adverbs, past simple, past simple.
7.1 Past simple. He He published his theory of relativity in
أعتقد
1905.
هاي ماخذينها فما نضيع بها وقتنا. Okay, we get back to our textbook, and you see here there is also a tape script 7.7. There is a conversation, and as I told you, here you have a special some years that is special, and you have to match what you hear and try to refer each one of these year. What does it refer to? Okay. If you are ready, I'm going to play the tape script.
Tape script 7.7.
In 1909, Blériot made the first air journey from Calais to Dover. Blériot was just 37 years old when he flew across the channel. It took him just 37 minutes. He took off from France at 4:30 in the morning. He flew his plane at 40 miles per hour. He flew at 250 feet above the sea. He won a prize of £1,000. In 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first man to walk on the moon. 3 astronauts flew in Apollo 11. The rocket took 3 days to get to the moon. It circled the moon 30 times. It landed at 8:17 a.m. on the 20th of July 1969. 600 million people watched on TV. Neil Armstrong said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." The astronauts spent 22 hours on the moon.
مثل ما سمعتوا أعزائي، كل هاي السنين الأول 1909 تتعلق بالفيرست اير جيرني. 1969 تتكلم عن فيرست مان اون ذا مون، وكل واحدة من ذني طبعا مرتبطة بحدث معين. Each one of these years is matching or concerning with a special occasion. Okay. Thank you for your listening. نكتفي بهذا القدر. Thank you for listening, and I wish to see you in the discussion on the WhatsApp. Goodbye. See you.